We all love a good romance anime, but rarely will the plot point of a forced marriage lead to a wholesome romantic representation. You've got all these usual cliches flowing here and there, but among all anime that tried and failed in taking part in this anime trope, we're going to be covering the best today. Here we go.
僕はあなたと結婚します。
何この人。感じるのは少尉の手の温かさと胸の高鳴り。
First up on our list is an anime that comes in multiple forms. While it is usually unusual for our lists, we're willing to recommend both the original anime series as well as the two new movies that cover the story as well. The story follows a rather energetic tomboy named Benjo as she gets forced into a marriage with a handsome, half-German soldier named Shinobu. While they don't get along whatsoever, Benjo has to work around it while also getting along with her future in-laws as well as her employers. The original anime series came out in 1978, so you can expect the art style to be somewhat dated in this form. However, it takes the inspirational story that is set in its manga source and pours it all into a beautiful series that is both authentic to its age, and it's definitely an inspiring anime to watch if you're a young woman yourself. For those who want to enjoy this tale with a fresh coat of paint, they have a choice of watching the two newer movies. Both are fantastic options for anybody who wishes to not miss out on an underrated gem like this series.
こちら私の新しいメイドのランコです。食べてもいい？いつから食べてなかったの？今日のお昼から何も。そう。
We have all seen our fair share of anime where a prince and princess are involved and romance is at the center of it all. However, we can guarantee that you would not have seen the anime handle these two roles as intriguing as The World Is Still Beautiful does. The story is centralized around King Livius Ifrinkia, who has to marry Knight Remercia, a woman who grew up hearing all sorts of scary rumors about the newly crowned king. When they come to meet, she slowly takes time as she realizes the King Livius is different from what all the rumors claimed him to be.
やっぱり。
もう行く。お前も戻れ。
While you will definitely get what you would expect from a shoujo, it never sticks in one lane to make things lethargic. With character development being one of the biggest highlights in this anime, it surely deserves your attention.
しかし寝顔は本当に可愛いよ。ただいま。何が大丈夫なんですか？白夜。
Let us be honest, as much as we love romantic anime, and comedy anime at that, there is not much one can do to keep that particular genre interesting. However, Mikakunin de Shinkoke happens to be one of those rare few that manages to break through the norm and truly stand strong. The story is centralized around a 16-year-old Kobeni Yonomori, who suddenly has a fiancé and a sister-in-law in her life, due to an arrangement that her late grandfather had made. After moving into the Yonomori household, Kobeni has to do her best to adjust herself to her sudden love life and get used to it all. What truly makes this anime stand out are the characters. It always does what you never expect it to, which will definitely keep you on your toes. For a fresh take on a romantic comedy, we highly suggest you give Mikakunin de Shinkoke a go.
さてと。地獄の攻めくわだ。ともかく校内での手つなぎ行為禁止です。
We all love a little bit of ecchi in our anime, but what happens when an anime decides to take a simplistic ecchi approach on an anime that showcases a rather realistic take on how teenage romances are? Well, as realistic as it can get, considering the main plot point of the anime and all. The plot is centralized around Hayato Izumi, who runs for student council president, only to be completely stumped by his rival, Ui Wakana, who ends up winning in his stead. As they try to settle in and work together as president and vice president, they are thrown off by a drunken promise made by their parents long ago, where they promise that their children will marry, which causes a lot of chaos within their school life and their bond. What makes this anime special are the dynamics between the characters and how they interact and grow together. It is as realistically presented as it could be, and we love each and every second of it.
何引っ張って。ちょ待て。何をしてる俺。
Next up, we have another anime centralized around ecchi, picked for our number 6 spot. To Love Lu certainly does not stand out at first glance, but the hidden nuances within the story, along with strong ecchi moments, will make this anime worth watching. The story is centralized around 16-year-old Rito Yuki, who is dead set on confessing his love to a girl in his class named Haruna Sairenji. However, after the arrival of a certain crown princess of an alien empire named Lala Satalin Deviluk, things get more and more complicated for Rito, as he gets into the forced position of having to marry Lala. What makes this anime special is the fact that there are political aspects that also drive within this slapstick romantic comedy storyline. It causes the experience to be much more entertaining and thought-provoking, and it is definitely worth your time.
私のことは気にしなくていいよ。
いや気にするって。
Up next, we have an anime that attempts to take on one of the biggest problems in Japan and showcase a potential solution to the problem through a plotline within an anime. The story is centralized around a teenager named Yukari Nejima, who lives in a world where Japan assigns marriage partners to all those who reach the age of 16 based on compatibility calculations, with severe consequences if one decides to go against the arrangement. However, Yukari's longtime crush on Misaki Takasaki causes him to reveal his true feelings for her, only to have that sweet moment crushed by the entrance of a third party named Ririna Sanada, who ends up being Yukari's assigned marriage partner. The anime centralizes and creates an interesting experience where the viewer can decide if this is a humane way of raising birth rates or if it's inhumane beyond belief. With a drama-filled plotline, this anime will definitely keep you on your toes.
デスノートではないですね。
違います。これはキスノートです。
キスノート？
Next up, we have an anime that went as far as to make a parody out of a famous anime and then create an interesting romantic comedy parody anime out of it. The anime is centralized around Seiji Aino, who finds a strange girl named Guri, who claimed that she would die if she would not kiss someone within 24 hours. After all sorts of shenanigans, it was later revealed that Guri held the kiss note, which had the power to make any pairings names that are written to fall in love become a couple. This particular notebook ends up being the cause of all sorts of romantic misadventures and is one roller coaster ride that you will not be able to get your eyes away from. As a parody anime, it never takes itself seriously, and in the case of this anime, it really is a good thing. The Renai Boukun deserves your attention for being what it is, a cheesy parody of Death Note that will give you a good time. This anime came out quite some time ago, all the way back in the spring of 1989. The story consists of Ranma Saotome, a well-versed martial arts prodigy who finds himself in a pickle when he gets cursed by a spring, which causes him to turn into a girl whenever he is splashed with cold water, with the only way to revert back to his boy self being with hot water. Things get even more mixed up when he has been arranged to marry the daughter of the owner of a well-known dojo, and then the girl he was going to marry, named Akane, is well known for her hatred against men. The story itself keeps you on your toes with all sorts of shenanigans that happen between Ranma and Akane. Considering the era it came from, it still holds up with an art style that looks unique to this day. With 161 episodes waiting to be watched, what are you waiting for? The thing about parody romantic comedies is they attempt to stick to one quirk and attempt to build an entire narrative around it. However, this particular anime happens to do it the right way, causing it to be a well-made romantic comedy. The story is centralized around Nagasumi Michishio, who almost drowns in the sea due to a cramp before being saved by a mermaid from a Yakuza clan named Sun Seto. However, due to the rule that a mermaid that reveals her identity to a human must die, Nagasumi is forced into a position where he must marry her or suffer the consequences. The anime will start off in a cliche manner before surprising you with all it has to offer, making this number 2 spot on our list a must-watch. Now for the number 1 spot on our list. This particular anime is centralized around a first-year student named Raku Ichijo, who also happens to be the sole heir to a feared Yakuza family, even though he wanted nothing to do with it. However, due to friction between two clans, he's forced into pretending that he is in a relationship with the daughter of a rival clan's chief named Chitoge Kirisaki. However, what many did not know is that Raku and Chikoge hated each other. What makes Nisekoi stand out amongst the rest is that it has characters that you will love from the very first episode right to the end. With visuals that will win the hearts of anybody, Nisekoi deserves the number 1 position on our list. So, that's the end. What did you think of our list? Do tell us in the comments below if you think any other anime deserve to be on the list. If you want us to make more content like this, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel as usual. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you can be updated as soon as we release a new video. Stay safe, anime fans, and I'll see you in the next video.